Alright, today we're going to be looking at Desmos and Desmos activity called Marble Slides. So, Desmos is actually free for both teachers and students to use and has a lot of very cool features. One of the first ones that I will show you is if we go to classes, we can see our class list. If you want to add a new class, you are able to import your classes from Google Classroom. This is extremely convenient as most K-12 educators will be using Google Classroom in their schools. You are also not required to use Google Classroom. You can just enter your class name and click Add Class. Next, we are going to look directly at our Marble Slides activity. I'm going to click on Assigned Activities, and I'm going to click on Marble Slides Parabolas. This pulls up all of the information about the activity. Another feature Desmos has is they have translated a lot of their Desmos-made activities into a multitude of different languages. This is the list of the ones that the Marble Slide activity has been translated into. Another feature that they have is a teacher guide. This provides a lot of cool resources for you as a teacher. It gives you an overview of the activity, the languages, a possible activity checklist, a place for your learning targets, all the different screens is provided, some notes, and it even provides sample responses. That's one of my favorite features. If I continue to scroll down to the bottom, I can see this accessibility notes. This is where Desmos features changes that they've made to make their activities more accessible. For this one, they've added keyboard shortcuts for adaptive technologies such as screen readers. This allows a multitude of students to be able to participate in the lesson. Scrolling back up, I'm going to click on Teach. This pulls up my lesson. Desmos provides a lot of cool features for you to use while you're teaching. As you saw earlier, they have a teaching guide because a lot of teachers use Desmos while they're teaching. One thing that they use is you can pace it, where maybe they're restricted to only these slides for a certain amount of time. You can also sync it where the students are only able to view the slide that you are on, or you can pause it. As well, you're able to anonymize student responses. We'll see those student responses later. Alright, now we're going to look at the Marble Slide activity directly. UDL Guideline 3.4 speaks on maximizing transfer and generalization. One way the activity does this is with using marble slides. I know what you're thinking. What is a marble slide? Well, the activity uses the familiar idea of marbles sliding down a ramp. As we can see here, we're given just a random equation. If we click Launch, these marbles will slide down the ramp, collecting these stars, which is the goal of the activity. UDL Guideline 3.3 speaks about guiding information processing, visualization, and relationships. The Marble Slide activity does this with having different approaches. The first approach we see is the Fix It approach. We are given an equation that we need to fix. For this one, it's telling us to change the sign of one number in the row. If we change the coefficient in this equation, it reflects over the x-axis and becomes a success. The next approach we see is the Predict and Verify. We will make a prediction here, and we will share with the class. And we'll be able to view our classmates' predictions as well. And then we're going to verify our prediction. We're going to change the 0.2 to -4 and see our prediction was correct. The last approach we have is the challenges. These are fun ways for the students to have further extension on the activity. They might be provided an equation or not. It's just a different way for them to get their minds moving and extend the activity. The Marble Slides activity further uses the UDL Guideline 3.3 by giving us explicit prompts. For this one, it's telling us that it wants us to change the sign of one number. In Fix It 2, it's telling us that it wants to change the row below. In Fix It 3, it's telling us that it wants to change 2 numbers. And in Fix It 4, it's telling us to change 1 number. As we can see, it is chunking the idea of manipulating parabolas into smaller events. Through this, it is gradually scaffolding. With Fix It 1, we can see that if we change the coefficient to become negative, it will be reflected over the x-axis. In Fix It 3, it's telling us if we change the number inside the parentheses, it will shift left and right. In Fix It 4, it's telling us if we shift the constant at the end, it will shift up and down. Lastly, it follows UDL Guideline 3.3 with having no extra distractions. It's only you and the graph. As I mentioned earlier, the UDL Guideline 3.4 is to maximize transfer and generalization. I already spoke on how marble slides is a familiar idea, but marble slides also incorporates the opportunity to review and practice new concepts and skills. If we go to prediction number 1, we can see that it's telling us to change the 0.2 to -4. This combines the skills learned in Fix-It 1 and Fix-It 2. We are both flipping to a negative and changing the number of the coefficient. As well, students are developing their social skills. As I said earlier, after they submit their response, they will be able to view their peers' responses. This develops their social skills as they will need to be able to communicate their thinking in with their own words. It needs to be in a clear and concise way for their peers to be able to understand their thinking. Thank you for exploring Desmos and the Marble Slides activity with me. I hope you learned something today. Thank you for watching.